Weeks ago, Shatta said he performed in the UK. He said he has been paid a certain amount. And this particular journalist...
It's not, but it's the society we've created for ourselves now. This is how people get traction. This is how they make money. This is how they get the likes. And this is how they get the relevancy.
I'm not saying it should be all positive all the time. But negativity never wins.
Yeah.
At the end of...
That's another thing. When he's ranting, people will not listen to the sense in what he's saying. They're just listening to the noise.
Yes.
That's his personality.
What's up? And you say, oh, his rap style, his music is like, it's all flat. It's the same style every time. But I'm like, every artist has got something that is very peculiar about them, right? If I hear Jay-Z song, I know this is...
Back again, DLS Wave. I'm with my guys here. Today, open topic. We're going to talk about our media space in Ghana and some of the quote-unquote so-called gatekeepers, the way sometimes they handle some of the issues surrounding our top stars. We need to... I find it difficult why we cannot push them like some other countries does.
Right.
Because any star, any artist, any artist would have a flaw.
Yeah.
And they do. Like the Beyoncé's, the wherever, But America is focused on what they get from the person.
Yeah, the positivity.
Good. So they project that one. Why is it that Ghana in general, it seems like we like to pull down our own or tarnish.
PhD syndrome.
We've patched PhD. Why is that? That is one critical question I've not been able to digest. Because a couple of weeks ago, somebody like Shatta Wale, he was in the news. And this guy for years, he's been trying. Yes, sometimes he will come on social media and vent because people keep insulting him and they expect you to be quiet. But it comes, sometimes he will go hard.
Yeah.
Because, yes, be careful. If you are asking for war, somebody will come with a gun, somebody will come with a cane. Be careful. So he will come but then they try to portray him like he's evil, this and that. Why do we focus on whether he's a good boy or not and not focus on the package he brings? So the reason why I'm asking that is the guy, one top journalist in Ghana, came out I think a couple of weeks ago. Shatta said he performed in the UK. He said he has been paid a certain amount. And this particular journalist came, or gatekeeper came, chastising him, asking the UK government to go after him to make sure he pays taxes.
And he also categorically stated that Shatta Wale is lying for saying he was paid £80,000.
So why are we like that?
I will start by saying, in some way, it's about inferiority complex.
Okay.
Because I don't know what happened to us, but not just in this situation, but in other cases, people have acted in ways that makes me feel like they feel inferior about themselves or their environment, whatever happens. So, in other words, people don't believe that they're actually that good, or people from their environment are not good enough to be able to get to certain pedestals. So I think inferiority complex plays a role. It just doesn't believe that an artist from Ghana can perform somewhere else and be paid such amount of money. So I believe it's in some ways inferiority complex.
What do you think?
In one word, I would just say relevance. I feel like a lot of people now, it's like social media era, right? People have the need to be relevant, right? Likes and, it's like
trending and
clickbait and trends and everything. So they just want to be relevant, right? And how else can you become relevant in today's world? Controversy.
Right. You
have to say controversial things. You have to say things that are leaning more into the negative side of things, right? Because think about if this guy had said, "Oh, great job, Shatta, right? Your show rocked, was like, super awesome." Nobody would have cared, right? But then he came out, said all these negative things, or I don't know, belittling things, almost as if Shatta is not big enough to, command that kind of payment. That would generate some talk, right? We're doing it right now. We're talking about it right now. We wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't a bit more derogatory. I mean, just to say the least. So I think it's more about relevance, just hyping yourself up, generating controversy so the person can respond, and then other people tweet it out, and then it becomes a thing. For that brief moment, you become relevant for that
okay, you want to be
period of
relevant.
time. Yeah.
You go after somebody like that, and then he comes back and respond, and then you call him names. Why is it so?
I also think that sometimes in the showbiz space, some of these journalists or talk show hosts have their favorite artists who they are kind of allegiant to. So any other person who tries to become more popular than their favorite artist that they try to propagate, then they try to do anything that can bring you down.
So your job as a host, you've been employed by somebody, to do a job.
Yeah.
You are telling me you are using your feelings?
No, but I think sometimes we kind of misread it. What is exactly their job, right? We have to split it up and look into the abyss, so to speak. It's like your job is to bring in ratings, right? Likes, retweets, right? Relevance, likes, people talking about it, right? Comments. So their job is literally to create what?
The traction,
right? For people to talk about the issue. This is what these companies or media this is what they or how they make their money, right? By ratings going up. How do you get ratings to go out? Likes, comment, controversy. So I think it's kind of like a crazy world we've created for ourselves, but it's what works now. Right? People feed off of more negative stuff than positive sides.
But the reason why the main reason why I asked this question is Shatta came out to defend himself and then really went after the guy and said things, including the one who employed the guy, someone like Despite and Father Dixon. He really went in hard.
Yeah, but why do you think the guy picked Shatta? He picked him for a reason, because he knows he would get a response.
Okay, so this is where I want to agree. You can pick on someone, but I feel you have to be a bit reasonable.
Right. That was what I was going to come to. I think that in journalism, I'm not a journalist, but I think one of the important things is to be constructive in your criticism.
Yes.
Don't be subjective and think only on one side.
One side, yes.
Okay, give him the benefit of the doubt. If he said this and this and that, you can analyze it on both sides, not just blatantly criticize the person. Why are you criticizing? Are you criticizing the person because he didn't give you some of the money, or because you don't like him?
You don't like him.
That should be out of your. Whether you like him or not, it's not what you're.
Yeah, but I don't think it was based off of his feelings. I don't think it's about like or dislike.
With that particular guy.
No, I would tell you honestly. I think number one, like you said, it's a very I don't even know if he's a journalist or not, because before you come and make such a statement, you should back it up with facts.
Yeah.
Okay, I have statements.
Receipts,
he was paid £20,000 and now he's saying £80,000.
That guy has been I don't know whether he's a journalist or not, but
do you know what? But even if he's not a journalist, you have to back it up when you make a statement.
Yeah.
So let me help you here. That guy has been working in that station for years, years. So he knows his stuff.
Right.
If I say he knows his stuff, he knows what he's doing to get maybe the attraction you're talking about. He doesn't care about facts. He knows his listeners will go with anything he says.
Yeah.
But my question here is that right?
It's not, but it's the society we've created for ourselves now. This is how people get traction. This is how they make money. This is how they get the likes, and this is how they get the relevancy. I mean,
I'm not disputing it. I'm not disputing it.
Look at all these people that we know now that have gone from nothing to going viral. You pick your Trini Jonas, Ifya Schwarzenegger, all these guys. What do they have in common? Insults, controversy, unnecessary remarks. You know what I mean? Disparaging remarks. This is what they feed off of, and this is how they get the following.
Right.
This is how they. So I feel like the media houses, they're also looking at these trends. well, these guys came from nothing and now look where they are with all these followers, right? So they pick up on the trend.
So does that mean that we are missing our priorities?
Yeah, of course. Now there's no real journalism in the world. It doesn't really exist. Like real journalism, it's all about what's the word? Sensationalization or whatever. It's sensationalization. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Right? You have to get people
Because I'm
aroused just to say something, make a comment.
Listen, I get the controversies and it's part of the work, yeah. But when you look at Ghana's own, you mentioned a couple of people, you can see it's coming from a place of hate.
I wouldn't call it hate, but you make
in Shatta's
point.
statement, he also said that he knows that there are a lot of people who think he's crazy because of how he reacts to things. And he was saying that people don't know all the good things he does in the background. People only pick on any negative thing they hear about him, and everybody judges him based on what they hear, but they don't know all the good things he does on the side. And that is why he was venting on that occasion, because he was saying that he accepts a lot of those negativity coming his way, but sometimes it gets too much and he thinks that he has to come out. So which means that there are a lot of things that he doesn't even react to, but on that particular one he thought that he had to come out.
Everybody has a limit.
Yes, which means that we are on the side, we don't know what's happening, but he has people who tell him things about what people are saying about him. So I think he just got to a point where he had to and if he went to the extent of insulting insulting the people who actually own the station.
And that was it's going to be my next question. Do you agree?
Agree with Shatta?
Yeah, with okay, after going after the one who was trying to question him or insulting him or whatever.
Right.
He went after the one who employed.
Right.
So what do you think it's right to
I heard his whole statement, and I think that I would just say that he could have put it in a better way, because I think the message he was trying to convey was, hey, you guys have employed this guy and I don't think he's fit for the job. So maybe find somebody else. But going to the extent of directly insulting the individual owners, and even to the extent of insulting their parents or something, I think he's right to do that. But the language he used and direct insult to somebody who you probably have never even met before, I think that was wrong. But if he was trying to send a message that this guy is not fit for the job, find somebody else.
But there's a school of thought, and it goes like, I support the insult because at the end of the day, that guy's negativity or destroying my image is fetching you money.
Right.
You understand? So you sit there. If it's your son,
right?
If it's your family member or somebody you're related to, I don't think you allow it.
Exactly. So that's where I was saying that I think he had the right to insult, not insult, but he had the right to complain to the owners, but not to insult them directly, because he had nothing to do with
I believe, like you said, his point was pretty much, it's like, there are editors, right? There are like, behind the scenes guys who have to make sure the content coming out for public consumption is
from
decent
side
enough.
Or from the studio?
No, from the studio, from the media house, right? People go through all these content to make sure it's decent enough for public consumption, right? So if you did not do your homework and you saw it fit to throw out this content to the public space, then he also think, okay, F it, right? I can also say what's on my chest.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's like living in a neighborhood, a big macho guy, right? And you kind of go to his face and you do this in his face. what do you expect? Because we all know Shatta to be what?
Yeah.
He's controversial. He will say it as it is, right? So, like I say, he just got the reaction he was expecting. So I'm not really gonna say he put it in bad words or he should have watched his language, because, like I said, sometimes we do not really understand the amount of pressure these artists come under, right? Just because you're a public figure or whatever doesn't mean it's like you don't get hurt with all these words and stuff.
They are not robots.
So I always say, we do not really understand the kind of space and the kind of stuff that goes on in their lives from every now and then. But also from these, like I say, media personalities, I always feel like it's more like it's not hate, but it's more like a heightened state of like enviness, you know. It's like a poor man's mindset.
Right.
If you see somebody flourishing, you know, making it in life, being successful.
A poor man.
Exactly, right? I mean, the question you have to ask yourself is like, how did he do it?
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
how can I get to where he is?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
I remember, I don't know if you saw the interview of KSM, who is he's a, we all know KSM. He
Yeah.
was a, whatever personality,
Comedian,
comedian,
Yeah,
and now
it's like
he
a
has his talk show.
comedian. Yeah.
Thank God it's Friday show.
Yeah.
He interviewed Wadamaya, and he was asking Wadamaya to tell him how much he earns.
Yeah.
Wadamaya has never told anyone, but he told him that day. And the man was like, so how can you help some of us to get to your level? And Wadamaya was like, I try to teach people, anyone who is open and comes, is humble, I'm willing to teach. And the man was like, yeah, I'm willing to, because there's no harm in wanting to improve yourself.
Yeah.
That was a very nice conversation.
Yeah.
The man is Wadamaya's father's age,
Yeah.
but Wadamaya is doing better than him. But he was humble enough
Now-
to ask him to help, you know, and he was like, yeah, I'll be willing to help if anyone asks for it. So, like you're saying, people are kind of just envy without trying to find meaning or positivity out of that envy. You don't just envy, you envy, but you look at how you can genuinely get help
Yes.
to also do better.
Yeah.
But not to just envy
And destroy a
out of
career.
that, exactly.
Yeah, but this is exactly
Because-
what I was saying, right? If you kind of like, you know, okay, you hear what or how much you got paid, you're gonna be like, wow,
Yeah.
what can I do? How can I better myself to also get to a
And
point
there's
that I'll be
that's not
commanding?
even envy, right?
But that's what I'm saying.
Everybody wants to be successful.
But this is what I'm
show
saying.
me
So you
the way.
gotta, it has to kind of actually inspire you to
Right.
do better. Right?
Yeah.
How can I also kind of like, you know,
Exactly.
get to a point that I
Yeah.
can command this kind of payment,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So you learn from people. You kind of, I don't know if you want to investigate and research and see how, you know, Shatta does it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you say, school of thought. It's something you have to kind of think about. It's good to think as a person,
Yeah.
right? Once you think, your mind opens up to a lot of
Right.
possibilities. But
Right.
when you just keep pointing fingers at people and see, oh, what he said was a lie, he's not getting paid this much. Okay, how does that really help you?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right?
Right.
What is this information really doing for? What are these ultras doing?
Yes. That's the question.
And I think the rant or the reaction from Shatta Wale actually brought a lot of things out, because listening to his full statement, he also said that he talked about the rich people and the leaders in the country. He was actually revealing some truths that he was using, what is it, thugs or niggas, the real guys on the street, what they're going through now. If they say they're going to rise up, this may not have been related to the topic, but
topic,
it
yeah.
made him reveal certain things. He said people are so angry about how difficult the system
the
is.
country is, yeah.
And if the real tough guys are going to do this Julobi whatever demo, then no one can stay in the country, because he said those guys who went to demonstrate, they're just like
No more, yeah.
jokers.
Yeah.
But he said the real guys who are going through it, if they rise up, then nobody can stay within the country.
Yeah.
So he was actually saying, I think he was trying to send a message that there are more important
Things to talk about.
that as
yeah.
a journalist we can focus on,
Yeah.
not on my personal
Life.
matters. Exactly. So that was actually quite smart, I thought, because he was trying to move the conversation from him to the general situation within the country. As a journalist, you have better things to talk about, not about my personal life.
That is the next point I was about. Why is it that, like you mentioned it, I've forgotten, but he has a story. The guy has a story to tell.
Yeah.
He went 10 years, came back.
Yeah.
He has been reigning for the past 10 years.
Yeah, more than that, yeah.
Yeah, for the past 10 years. So that he's, as much as you want to put certain tags on him, he's doing something right to be relevant for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
So somebody like that, he needs to be steady. He needs to be questioned to tell, oh, I did it this way.
Yeah.
I got help from here.
Right.
I spoke to this person.
Yeah.
I did that. I'm not saying it should be all positive all the time, but negativity never wins.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Right.
that's my take.
Right.
So I don't see why, if we want to mention his name, we look at how are we going to help the next generation
Right.
to be more than Shatta or to be the next Shatta.
Exactly.
How has he made it to where he is?
Right.
Do not forget, on his own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not from like a record label. This
Yeah.
guy, I mean, he produces, he built his own studio
Yeah.
by himself.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's like an inspiration for the youth.
Yeah.
So people like you actually bring them online or bring them on the air, interview them, right?
Right.
In a positive way.
Yeah.
Let them tell you, let them literally give you the blueprint.
Right.
And it's gonna inspire a lot of kids. A lot of people who want to be like him. They'll
Mm-hmm.
get first-hand information how he does it, and you know how. I mean, people have different dreams, but at least you understand what I'm saying. It's gonna motivate a lot of kids. They say,
Yeah.
okay, if he did it on his own, like you said, he was absent for 10 years, came back and did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can also do something. But instead of doing that, like this is the problem I have with like Ghana TV and media. All we talk about is unnecessary, like
Yes.
crap.
Negativity. And he was also saying
know,
that where
no,
were you guys
sorry,
when I
give me
was
a minute.
sleeping
Think
under the
about it.
bridge at
Yeah.
Circle?
If he, I mean, okay, let's say for instance, he was lying about the amount he got paid.
Yeah.
Does it really have like a negative impact on anybody? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't affect
Because
anyone
I
anyway.
In case you can wo you hot.
But that's what I'm saying.
I've impregnated some woman.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Is that concern you?
Exactly.
Did he concern
So
you?
the point is-
were you there?
Even
Yeah.
if he blew up, even if it was £20,000, he said he got paid 80,000.
Yeah.
Isn't it supposed to actually, like I said, impact people? Like, oh, like Shatta got paid £80,000 to perform, right? So for me, it's actually like it's sort of like
Good news.
a good news for kids to look up to this guy and be
yeah.
like, this guy is really
The
doing
next
something.
artist,
Exactly.
when he goes into charge, he knows it's not Shatta,
Yeah,
but
right.
he can charge close to what Shatta
Right.
Shatta is demanding.
So this is why
You
when
know?
I said he
Yeah.
came out dissing the whole media house, I kind of thought it was okay. Why? Because like I said, these content goes through channels
Exactly.
before it gets broadcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So all these guys saw the content, they realized it's good to go.
Yeah.
If you're in a company, yeah, the reason why I also support all the insult and everything,
Yeah.
he was sitting in somewhere. He said, yes, he was sitting somewhere.
Yeah.
He said, I've been paid this amount,
Yeah.
or I've impregnated this woman. Does it concern you? Doesn't concern you.
Yeah.
You, a business owner, if you employ someone and constantly the person brings negativity to your company, the logical thing or the sensible thing as a good business owner for you to do is to call the person, get the person in check.
But this is what I'm saying.
So if you don't,
Right.
and let's say something is coming to happen to your car, it would affect you because it is yours.
Yeah.
So that is why I get the insult to that person.
That level, yeah.
You understand? Because you've been seeing it for years. For years. And you are not saying anything, but you are benefiting from it because we are talking about numbers here.
Yeah.
By destroying somebody's son's reputation.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like this kind of like, us versus the mentality got to stop. Because you're a journalist or whatever the heck he is. Why don't you find a way to bring this guy on air, interview, like I said,
Yes.
give him an interview, let him kind of like give you everything and say, okay, no, I have facts stating that you were not paid this amount, and then trash it out on air, right? I mean, it's kind of like it's also part of entertainment, regardless.
yeah, right.
But they like this tweeting and back and forth and all these negative vibe, which I don't really think is good for anybody or progress in the industry. But then again, we do not really know the past history between these two guys.
Right.
Probably they even wanted an interview with Shatta and he kind of turned him down. So
I get
there
it.
is like-
People fall out,
Yeah.
but until you own a company, you own your own radio station, or you own your own company that you don't want to work with Shatta, it is your choice. As long as you're working for someone
Yeah.
yeah.
to educate the public,
Yeah.
you don't take your personal feelings onto. So it is my job as a business owner to
Right.
correct you, check you, say, listen, I don't like the way you're doing
Yeah.
your stuff.
Right.
The negativity over this particular guy is too much.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the numbers you're looking for will actually come because people who really want to hear good stuff, learn,
Yeah.
would say, okay, I'll pick this station over this,
Yeah.
over these
I
people. over
forgot there was this guy. I don't even know what his name is. He's one of the whatever musical guys or whatnot. They had this UTV, right? That
Yeah.
show they have one. Then I think there was this guy. Was it Papi Kujo? Yeah. I think there was this guy, Papi Kujo. The same thing. They were kind of disrespecting him, and he said the same thing. He does not want to be disrespected. I think there was like I think a female artist a week before he came, and he said, nah, he doesn't want to get disrespected like that girl. So he wanted that guy to give an apology to that girl online. And he was like, he doesn't want to do that, and he started disrespect this, and he was just like, no, he's not gonna take that kind of disrespect. And he's like, oh, you think, and Papi Kojo was like, I'm like an award-winning artist, so I'm not gonna sit here and kind of like,
That's the thing.
take this nonsense. The guy was like, oh, you think you're the only one who knows songs or who can write songs? I'm like, that is like,
Stop demeaning,
blatant disrespect. That's what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
People put a lot of work, a lot of investment into their talent and
that is
their
what,
craft.
So I'm not cutting you. There's a word I always use. I'm cutting you.
But say I'm not cutting you.
But I'm not cutting you.
Yeah.
That is a slavery mentality.
Yeah.
Where you're just doing intentionally undermining someone. And when a person reacts, say, "Oh, look at him! Look at the way he's reacting." And that is the culture of our people.
Yeah.
And I think it's about time we need to change, because one good thing social media has done for us. Is it good? Yes, good. The good side is it has actually exposed us.
Yeah.
How we handle issues.
Yeah. But I feel like sometimes they're super like unprofessional. I mean, like you bring in an artist to interview, right? And then you start. He asked you to.
They don't respect our
apologize
artists.
to somebody. Okay, if
They
you
don't
want to
respect our
fight, but
artists,
do not
and
kind
it
of like.
hurts me.
Yeah, do not take it like onto a next level, disrespecting the guy. Oh, you're not the only one who knows how to write songs. I'm like, it was so uncalled for.
If you
right?
know how to write songs, why haven't you also
No,
written
but
anything?
you brought this guy into interview, right? So give him a little bit of respect. He spent his time, money, and
Exactly.
to be there. So at least be like, okay, I'm gonna apologize to the lady, like the
You see, and this-
whatever. But it's like right now, let's have this interview going. But
this funny thing, and
really appalling.
they're the same people. The next show, they'll be saying our artists are not doing well.
Yeah.
They need to go and fill the O2. Yeah, but an artist will fill Accra Sports Stadium, and then you undermine the work.
Yeah.
And Accra Sports Stadium is bigger than the O2. So this is a typical slave person.
Yeah.
Who doesn't see anything than what the slave master wants him to do.
I think it's just myopic. It's like they don't even have like a foresight.
Someone was saying that in Nigeria they do it better than us because you never hear one Nigerian musician trolling another, or the journalists generally push them, they propagate them, and that's why Nigerian music is going so far.
So far, yeah.
It's not necessarily that it's more interesting to listen to, but they understand the game. Let's push it. And now if you look at Afrobeats, Nigeria is sitting on top. Almost all the charts, you have Nigerian songs like leading, and it's catching on all over the world. So we really have to stop this backstabbing thing, and just because the guy sometimes looks aggressive doesn't mean that what he says doesn't make sense. And that's another thing. When he's ranting, people will not listen to the sense in what he's saying.
They look at
They're
the
just
ranting.
listening to the noise.
Yes.
That's his personality. He shouts, he screams when he's talking.
Yeah, because it's
Exactly.
Have you seen somebody who is annoyed and calm
And calm.
before?
And these are this this guy is like
But let's be honest. I mean, everything we're talking about is super accurate, because I've heard people talk about Sarkodie saying, "Oh, his rap style, his music is like it's all flat. It's the same style every time." But I'm like, every artist has got something that is very peculiar about them, right? If I hear Jay-Z song, I know this is Jay-Z. If I hear Beyonce, so it's like, what do you want from an artist?
Yeah.
They've created this path and they know what sells and they know how to market their stuff. But it's like these no good losers. I mean, sorry to use that word, but it's like, how many times are you gonna feel good trashing other people?
it's just like in Ghana when Black Stars are playing a match, everybody
Everybody's
becomes
a
a
coach.
coach.
Yeah, exactly, right?
You should have fielded this guy. You should have played this guy there.
That's what I'm saying. It's not easy. I mean, if you know anybody who's an artist, not just saying rapping. It's like the various forms of being an artist, right? It's not easy. It's not easy to be consistent doing the same thing for 10, 20 years.
Especially when you're coming from Ghana, because like I'm not comparing the states, but in a way I'm somebody like Vanilla Ice, released one hit song, and he's currently living on it. But if you pick the Sarkodias, the Shatta Wales, the Stone Boys, the Daddy Lumbers, Kodoinchis, and they're not getting anything.
Yeah, but this is why now they all kind of trying to be smart, like Shatta and Sark. They're trying to create like a whole business product out of what they do. It's not just the songs. So this is what I'm saying, that as opposed to studying these people, trying to understand where they kind of like or how they figure these things out and are where they are, we don't do that.
And even
all we do is criticize and bring them down and
even
talk
if you
trash.
look at our radio stations, if you listen to foreign radio stations, they always stop in the show and advertising a certain musician's new hit song. You can download it here, you can do it there. You don't hear that on Ghana charts. And I believe sometimes they even play the songs for free.
I'm going to promote someone.
Yeah, but it's payola, right? You have to pay to get paid.
I'm going to
Sorry, you got to pay to get played.
If you have sexual problem, go to the T junction and your sexual problems will stop. Blah blah.
Yeah, it's true. That's what you hear on the air, right? We did not promote anything.
Oh,
When
Lord.
was the last time you hear Ghana promoting anything about tourism, right?
And
So go to Botifos, go to
Yeah.
You don't hear anything.
And
We
someone
don't
said,
promote
another
anything.
person said something in some time back about Ghana Premier League.
Yeah.
It's almost down.
It's dead.
Almost
No,
nobody
it's dead,
watches
yeah.
it. And I think it was it Paul Adomocho or something? He was saying that look at how the Premier League does it. You open all the football apps, they'll tell you can watch it on this channel.
Yeah.
You pay this. Even in China now, Premier League.
Yeah.
You go to the ITU
Yeah.
size 5 kwai, you
Yeah.
can watch a match full HD.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you don't pay, you watch 15 minutes and
And
it's
gone.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our TVs and radio stations are not even using the media in collaboration with even take GFA
Yeah.
to promote the local league. So what the person was saying was patronage to our local league is low, transport and all that. If you're playing like Wa Hazakis or whatever, you don't want to go all the way to Wa because transportation and all that, logistics. You can even have an app just like these foreign leagues.
Yeah.
People can pay like 50 pesos to watch the match in Accra if the match is being played in Tamale.
Yeah.
You are not going into some of these contracts and agreements to support local how do you call it, local
businesses
and local efforts.
Yeah.
All you sit down is to write on the backs of celebrities.
Yeah.
As a media house, you always have to be on your toes looking for ways to promote stuff and to make money for the station. But what do? They sit there and they just bring, I mean, you look at
A friend once said, "Forget it." It's not
yeah,
gonna
it's
happen.
really,
So this is what I say. I understand people.
You go explain tire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand people like Shatta's frustration, right? Because they come out, they make them on their own. Literally,
I've
right?
struggled all my life. I've made it, and then you want to pick on
But
me.
that's what I'm saying.
It's like when I was sleeping under the Circle Bridge, where were you guys?
Yes,
Now
Like
that I've
Sock and
made
all
it.
these guys, the same exact. They're not
Yeah.
getting the backing from musical or whatever they call
Yeah.
those what you call organizations, right? They make them on their own. So it's like if you come out to talk trash and you have no talent of your own, or you like, not even trying to get to the level they're on, it's like it's
There are
frustrating. It's
more
annoying.
serious problems, sanitation problems.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems to talk about.
So
Did not
many
talk about
things
that.
to talk.
Unnecessary-
Even the entertainment industry, there's so much we can do. Like there's so much.
There's a lot.
We have a
look
pool
at
of
our
talent
so-called
in there.
art center. Look at our art center. I mean,
Yes.
it's like a
I mean, look at recently. I don't know.
talk about stuff like that and
Our
start
movie
picking up.
industry is dead.
Picking up.
It's dead,
When
yeah.
we were all growing up, we had shows like Inspector Bediako.
Showcasing Ghana, showcasing their West,
Exactly.
showcasing
These
Akan
were-
drama, Kwasasa. We had so many.
This my favorite was Inspector Bediako. This was a world class. Maybe the acting was world class.
Yeah.
The actors and all that spoke very good English. The storyline
But
was
the show
perfect.
still was like pew pew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We
It was-
could have
it was the
improved-
gun for me.
We could have improved it up till now. But what do we see? They go and pay for some cheap telenovelas.
And
Oh,
then
what is
I
it
recently
called?
saw-
Kukumbeja or what?
Kumbaja.
Yeah,
Kukumbaja or Beja?
I recently saw it in news from Kenya. The new Kenyan president. He said, "Is it Kenya or Rwanda? I think Kenya.
One of those.
They are going to charge any TV station that streams telenovela 50% tax. Wow, 50%. So basically, they are not telling you that
Stop.
because the government shouldn't control the media. So they're just saying that we're going to tax you more if you play any foreign telenovela. Basically, they're telling you don't do it. Because if you're going to earn from adverts and whatever, 10,000 Ghana cedis, and the government is going to take 5,000.
Yeah, so they're trying to promote like they're trying to promote locally produced
Exactly.
content. That's the thing, domestication. This is what we do not do, right? Anything is okay. Telenovelas every single day on TV. It's like it's not that it's about some church preaching.
We all grew up with By the Fireside.
Yeah.
Brilliant program. Now you don't even see it on TV.
Not even
Just
by the
because
water
Mame
side.
Doc-
We don't even by the water side.
Even Mami Dokune is still alive.
If the fire is there, we cannot buy the water side.
Even
by the
Shatta
kinky
himself
side.
was on that show, you remember?
Yeah.
He said Mami Dokune said he was a gong beater
Yeah.
in By the Fireside.
Oh, by
Nobody
the
remember him.
by the kinky side.
By the kinky side. Maybe we can do series. Anyways, there is more to talk about when it comes to media in
Hey,
general.
just support each other. That's what we're saying.
We'll-
Support
we
the
just-
artists.
let's
I mean, what do you really lose if you support people? I mean, you're not. We're not saying go pay $100 to go see their concerts, right? But if they said they got paid
you have every right to
a
pick
certain
your
amount
favorite.
of money, I mean,
you have favorites. We all have favorites, but it doesn't mean that I should not support my artist.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, they bring a certain light to
you
the
got
country.
paid 80,000 pounds. Like,
You know?
great! I'm happy for you.
I'm happy
right?
for you.
It's
I
like,
hope the
keep
next
going.
artist continue.
And I hope the next album is even a banger,
Better,
right?
yeah.
Like you get more shows. Some
Actually, he
people
has
are not.
released a new one called
So-
Incoming. So my brothers and my sisters, go stream, listen to it. It's called Incoming with Techno, a Nigerian artist. It's a banger already. For me, I've listened to it like 10,000 times already. This is DLS Wave. Like, share, and subscribe. DNA was here like cool. This guy, he head like coconut. Charlie, Abanani, we are out. Peace.